Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today in this occasion, we are from this group gonna explain about noun and adjective in early modern English era. This group, which consists of Abang Azifa Azamani, Alisa, Christian Ferry, Helfrensha, and Ipan Ardiansyah. Okay, I am gonna first explain about this material. I'm gonna just explain about the broad or the abstract about this material. So, next, Bang. Next, Bang. Okay. Okay, so as in modern English era, the only regular noun inflection was the S ending of the genitive and plural. Irregular plurals, the use of an apostrophe in the genitive singular was optional in the 16th century. An alternative form of the genitive singular throughout the period was the so-called possessive dative, as in uh, Job Passion, Moses' meekness, or Abraham faith. That the example. This was most commonly used after noun ending in s, referring to masculines. Perhaps it was practically identical in sound with regular genitive ending in e, a parallel used with her. Okay, next, Bang. Uh, okay, in Middle English, the group genitive, the extension of complex noun phrase like the King of England was space construction. The example of this sentence is the King's wife of England. This construction was still found in early modern English, but was replaced by the familiar construction like the wife of the King of England or the King of England's wife. Apostrophe s. Adjective gradation, all three alternative easier, more easy and more easy, were acceptable in this period. In Standard English, this rule by which and s are preferred in monosyllabic word and more and most are used in polysyllabic, with variation in disyllabic, was established by the late 17th centuries. I think that's all from me. The next slide will explain by Abang. To Abang, I present the place, the time for you. Okay, I'm giving the next slide is for Helpri. Helpri, I present to you.
Okay. Early modern English grammar change and future of modern English noun system. In the unification of the number of expressions, nearly all nouns have the same plural ending. Compare sources and Shakespeare's usage by cause and for Shakespeare, I suppose. There remains some muted plural, man and men, a few and plural, sus and sun, hausen and ein, some unmarked plural, moths, yare, horse and peace. There's remain, there's remain only two cases, nominate and genitive. There appears a noun plus noun combination, unmarked and genitive. Like example, mother tongue and lady slide. And the last is grammatical gender, disciples in all together. The next slide is explained by Ipan.
Okay. It's my turn. Nouns. Gender marking on nouns was already lost by late Middle English. The only case marking left by 1500 in genitive s with same allomorph is s and z. As the plural morphem, use of apostrophe s for the spelling of the possession singular is not common until the late 17th century, and the s apostrophe s for the possessive plural is not common until the late 18th century. The analytic variant of the genitive is available from the late Middle English, but becomes markedly more popular over the early modern period. The S genitive tends to occur with human nouns and on modifier in subjective relation to the head, the boy's arrival. And the F genitive tends to occur with inanimate nouns and on modifiers in objective relation to the head, the release of the boy. Consistent in the 17th century, at this time, the S genitive is regarded as somewhat more informal. Okay, that's all from me. Next is belong to Abang.
Okay, thank you Ipan for your explanation. And now me Abang Zamani explain about noun suffix. None of the new suffix forming concert noun may need to assert the ubiquitous native agentive er suffix. They tend on the whole to be both semantically and formally resisted. Ancient is added to Art of Science in ICA, ever equi, and in IC. She has to denote a person's skill in the art or science. Musician and musician are loans, but in some cases it's not possible to tell if a word, e.g. musician, is formed in English. Some words like geometrician are formed by analogy or names not even ending in EC, or although they may be an adjective in AC. ER is added to English noun in the early 17th century to form the designation of person, publicitaire, publicitaire, in imitation of early verlons like connier, with the for agent suffix er still evident in bombardier. It hardly appears on native basis, and when it does, as in with coaster prostitute, is it not transparent? Concert noun ending in "un" may be for participle verb before 1,500. Attendant and dependent. Later refreshing as and a dependent, or participle borrow directly from LT. There are some analytical formation, but not many in early modern English. Okay, that's all for me. And next up will be explained by Alisa.
Okay, I will continue the presentation. Now it's about adjectives. In early modern English, the only morphological marking on adjectives as the comparative and superlative degrees of comparisons. The peripatetic expression of gradations, more and most, had already become common in Middle English, providing two systems. In the modern system, peripatesis is in complementary distribution with suffixes. Monosyllabic basis text suffix, bigger and biggest. These syllables prepare suffix, but can take periphrases, hairier or more hairy. Three syllabics and longer forms take periphrases, beautiful with or. This situation is not completely established in early modern English. However, we find forms like easier and more brief in John Hart's orthography of 15th 69th, famous and difficult in Milton, Linnaeus in Johnson, and Ranginges in Nash. Double compression was more common in the 6th and 7th centuries, illustrated by Shakespeare's sentence, "This was the most unkindness cut of all," Julius Caesar, and more nearer by Hamlet, There is also apparently more preparations. Ben Jonson used both bitter and more fit. Shakespeare used sweeter and more sweet. Okay, next. And next is adjective suffix. It persists as with nouns. Numerous adjectives were added to early modern English through morphological Anglicization. In many cases, an inflectional ending is simply dropped content to content as. In others, a set of adjectival words becomes associated with a modified Latinate ending. For example, airy in early modern English appears predominantly in loan, such as voluntary and contrary from a fair voluntary and Latin contrarius and very infrequently in a word in English, and especially pronoun or adjectives in at form from LT participles by desolate to desolatus and separate to separatus. The adjective can be adopted with the ending affectionate to affectionate, and so can other LT stems resonates 1589 is from LT reses. Thus, at cannot be considered a productive adjective because suffix. Okay, thank you.
I think that's all from our group presentation. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry if our presentation, our material, our explanation is not really really perfect. I mean, that's all from us. Thank you. Bye.